Welcome to the OBM podcast. This is a platform where awareness, new perspectives, healing, and transparent conversations take place. Every mom has a motherhood journey that is unique, yet no mom is alone. So sit back, relax, open your minds, and steady your hearts to hear a mom's journey through motherhood.
Okay, so you have a honey, you call her your honey bun, but you are a honey.
I
And you
am.
call her your honey bun.
Yes.
How was it? Okay, so you said your mom had you when she was
Okay.
young.
So my mother had me when she was 21.
Okay.
I had my daughter when I was 20,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter had her daughter at 19.
21, 20, 19. Let me ask you this. How was it to find out that your baby was having a baby?
If I would have to sum it up in one word, it would be shocking.
Mm.
It was shocking. Probably
Mm-hmm.
because I did not know.
Okay.
When I say I did not know,
Mm-hmm.
I literally, and it's hard because I do get the people saying, "How do you not know?"
Okay.
But I didn't find out that my daughter was not a virgin until July 17th.
Mm.
I did not find out that she was pregnant until July 21st. And then she had the baby August 21st.
So you found out late in the pregnancy.
Very late.
Did Alexis know?
She says she did not know.
I know that was hard. I'm sure that was hard for her too.
And because she was, I went with her to every doctor's appointment.
Oh, mama.
I went with her to the hospital, the initial appointment.
Yeah.
And that was so funny in itself because at first they weren't going to let me in due to COVID.
Oh, yeah.
They said, "Oh, only the patient."
Mm.
And I said, "No, that's my baby. I'm going in there.
You gonna let me in this
Yeah."
class?
So, but they finally let me in.
Good.
And I'm just listening to what's being said. I was trying not to be overbearing. Trying to make sure that I remembered that this was not my situation.
Mm.
It was hers.
Mm.
So I'm only here for support.
Got you.
So I listened as she talked to the doctors.
Got you.
And she did say, and they did confirm that, yeah, it looks like she was one of the few that actually had her period the entire time.
Wow.
So she didn't know.
Mm.
So when they asked her, "When was your last menstrual cycle?" And she said July 1st.
Recent.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And they said, "Oh, okay, so you're about 2 weeks." No. We're about 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my God.
So yeah, that was
oh wow.
And of course your mind starts to go back. Like,
Mm.
okay, well, wait, this happened. But I'm like, she went to prom in probably the slinkiest little dress ever. We saw nothing. She went to state competition for track and field. Perfect form, everything. She did the discus and the shot put.
Mm.
We saw nothing. It was like she didn't show until after I knew.
Mm.
After July 21st, all of a sudden she popped out.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what would have happened had I known before, but I'm just like, Lord, I thank you for shielding me because
wow.
I believe that that's what he did.
Mm.
I believe that with everything in me. He shielded me because I could definitely be a very strict parent, very, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite sure what would have happened had I known before. So
thank God for the shield.
yeah.
Literally. I'm just playing. For those who are not watching on YouTube, we literally have on face shields. So just want to put a little, to break the ice a little bit. So
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So, okay. You had Alexis at 20, but you were pregnant at 19.
I was.
Do you feel like you tried to do the same or do different as your mom did with you?
What do you mean? In raising Alexis?
When she found out that you were pregnant. And
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because my mother she's not old, but she has a probably what you would call an old soul.
Oh, soul. Yeah.
My mother was always very old fashioned.
Got you.
Always.
Got you.
And so I know that in raising me, she tried to do all that she could according to what she knew.
Got you.
And what she knew
got you.
was what the older people
got you.
did.
Right.
And so that's what she did.
Right.
Which is basically what all of us are doing today. You do what you know.
The best we can.
Right.
Right.
And so I knew that there were things that I wanted to take from that.
Right.
Like the strictness, like, you're not going to bring any bad grades in my house. You're not going to, stuff like that. I knew that I wanted to take those principles.
Got you.
But there were some things that I said, I'm not gonna do it.
Got you.
I remember when I was pregnant, I called my mom because I was in college.
Gotcha.
And I went to college in Gainesville.
Okay.
At University of Florida.
Okay.
I called her and I said, I have something to tell you. And I didn't have to go any further because she said, you're pregnant.
Wow. She knew?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I said, yeah. And she said, okay, well, you have a baby, you got to take care of it. And that was the end of the conversation. And I didn't talk to her again for probably a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah. So I knew I didn't want to do that.
Gotcha.
Only because I often try to think of how I felt when it was going on.
I got you.
And I didn't want my daughter to feel that way. So I decided that I would still support her, just like I always have done.
Yeah.
She's still gonna be my baby.
Yeah.
She just has a baby.
Yeah.
So okay. So I'm gonna support her. And so I made sure that I was completely honest with her.
Okay.
In everything. It's so funny because we would still talk and she would say, Ma.
That sounds like her.
And I would say, listen, this is what's going to happen. You need to know. And so I would just tell her, like, hey, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna go through some stuff. You're gonna, but you have to go through it and you'll never be alone. And I wanted to make sure that she knew that.
Great promise, Mom.
She'll never be alone. Yeah, there are days when I'm like, I don't have a baby. I don't want to.
This is your baby.
But she'll never be alone. Now she's talking about moving out.
Lex.
And I said, okay. I'm okay because she has one of my sisters.
Okay.
She's like, oh, I'm gonna move with her. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm good with that.
Good.
And so she's doing that, she's learning to be an adult and a mom at the same time.
Wow.
And I know from experience that could be difficult. And so
sure.
I'm never going to push her away. And that's the plan. So in every day making different decisions, it'll never be push her away. And that's all.
That's good.
So I can't say what that'll look like tomorrow
Yeah.
or the next day, but I can say I will never push her away.
And that's the promise you made to her.
That's it.
So you make sure your actions and your words stick with that promise.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the OBM podcast. We look forward to you joining us next week to hear a story from a mom near you. So until we hear each other again, please be sure to take it easy, be blessed, and smile. Remember, you can enjoy life.